90-Day Fiancé. I suspect Sophie Sierra could be having money issues. The American dream is expensive. Sophie Sierra from 90 Day. The Last Resort is eager to return to the 90-Day Fiancé franchise, which I think indicates she isn't doing well financially. Sophie was living in London when she met Rob Warren from Los Angeles on social media. The young and attractive pair had an instant connection and entered a romantic relationship. It was Sophie's idea to apply for a K-1 visa so she could live with Rob in America. She decided to get married to Rob even though he had online cheated on her. Sophie lived in Marbella, Spain while growing up. She claimed she lived in the lap of luxury with exotic vacations around the world and maids in her home. Sophie's decision to move into Rob's apartment, which didn't even have a bathroom inside it, was questionable to me. She also didn't think of returning home to Spain or the UK after her split with Rob. I wonder if Sophie has been dealing with money problems recently since some of her decisions point to her struggling financially in America. Sophie had a wealthy grandfather. Sophie hasn't revealed who her grandpa is. He's very mysterious. In her introduction on 90-Day Fiancé Season 10, Sophie shared details about her childhood. She enjoyed standing out and going out, dancing, making friends, and having fun. Sophie admitted she started clubbing at 12, acknowledging that it might sound absolutely crazy to Americans. However, she explained in Europe, if someone appeared old enough, they could enter clubs without issue, as authorities generally didn't intervene. Sophie also mentioned her family's wealth, giving insight into her privileged background. Her carefree youth shaped her personality and experiences, offering a glimpse into her unique upbringing and lifestyle. Sophie described her grandfather as a hardworking man who funded her privileged upbringing. Despite benefiting from his wealth, she never learned how he accumulated it. Sophie never asked him about his profession, but knew he made a lot of money, which allowed her to live in nice homes. She attended private school and traveled, experiences she viewed as part of her fortunate life. Sophie expressed how lucky she felt to have had such a lifestyle, acknowledging the comfort and opportunities that came from her grandfather's financial success. Even without understanding the source of his wealth, Sophie has been independent since the age of 17. Sophie hinted at being estranged from her wealthy family. However, despite her wealthy grandfather, Sophie had no money of her own when she moved to the U.S. The truth was revealed when Sophie expressed an interest in living in Santa Monica, and Rob gave her a taste of reality. Sophie wanted to live a happier life by the beach. Rob asked Sophie if she could reach out to her affluent family for help if she wanted to live in a fancy beachfront house. Sophie looked uncomfortable when Rob asked her how much money she had on her. Sophie admitted she had nothing. When I was about 16, 17 years old, I started waitressing. Sophie earned enough to buy a small apartment in the countryside and chose to distance herself from her family to gain independence. Since then, they stopped giving her money, and she never asked for it, believing in the importance of self-sufficiency. Sophie found it frustrating when Rob suggested she ask her family for money. Despite her grandfather's financial support during her childhood, Sophie likely no longer depends on him for money, as she values her independence and prefers not to rely on anyone for financial assistance. Sophie keeps changing her last name. Sophie has rebranded herself several times. It appears Sophie is trying to run away from her past. I wonder if she's hiding something. According to Sarcasm, Sophie has gone through a couple of rebrandings over the years. She previously used the name Sophie London and later changed it to Sophie Cheshire. These names were used by her for her OnlyFans accounts from before her 90-Day Fiancé debut. Sophie has accounts named It's Sophie Cheshire and Sophie Cheshire. She may have used the platform as a resource to make quick money by posting naughty pictures. She may have been referring to Of when she said she did modeling. Sophie wants fans to pay her for a follow back. Sophie will slide into a fan's DM for $60. In May 2024, I came across a post by Bubbly Consequence 3 on Reddit where the fan shared several screenshots of Sophie's fanbase's page. It showed what services Sophie was offering to her fans in exchange for money, especially on social media. One of them included an Instagram follow back from Sophie. For $85, Sophie could follow a fan back on their Instagram. She also offered to slide into a fan's DMs for $60 and repost a fan's Instagram story for $115, among